Hello, my friend. Welcome to the study. We're going to do some Latin today to occupy the restless part of your mind and relax the rest of you like little cool raindrops falling through your brain. It's a crazy world out there. You can take some time here in the study. Relax and build up your strength. Calm your intellect. We're going to be using this Rhodia notepad. It makes nice sounds. And we've already done some more Latin on it. So we'll put some more on there today. And we'll use pick out a pencil. Nice mechanical pencil. Makes a nice sound. Today we're going to look at clauses of result or consecutive clauses. Consecutive clauses. Don't know if you remember the comedian Rodney Dangerfield and several other comedians at the time with the running jokes of he was so something or other, and the question went, how much was he? He was so big. How big was he? She was so fast. How fast was she? It was so funny. How funny was it? Well, adverbs and adverbial phrases and clauses answer that question. How? So Caesar said, it was a long battle. How long was it? Let's look at an English example sentence constructed very similar to what we will see in Latin. Nice, simple present here. So difficult is the task that few will succeed. It was so difficult that few will succeed. So in English we will often have a so or a such. It was such a high mountain that they were unable to climb it. And that will always translate to an ut in Latin. Ut plus subjunctive. Result clauses or consecutive clauses are talking about events ideas or thoughts. So we don't have to follow the rule of tenses. We just use a tense by sense, as it were. So the subjunctive will use the same tense as it would in a simple sentence. Few will succeed. It was so difficult, it is so difficult. It will be so difficult that few will succeed. So we have a consequence of an action. I was so tired that I fell asleep. How tired was I? I was so tired that I fell asleep for a long time. So if we look at the simple sentence, I was so tired. Tam, defesus, and with our past. Eram. Because we have the tam, it's like the English so. I was so tired. Ut, that. And we've got our adverbial there, tiu. Dormiverim. I know my R's are looking funny at the moment. They're in transition. Tam defessus eram ut diu dormiverim. I was so tired that I fell asleep. Dormiverim for a long time too. Now what adverbials do we have here that sets this off? Such as ad eo, so much, or to such an extent that. Ita, in such a way that. Talis or tale, such, of such a kind that. Tam, so. Tantus, and this one declines us, a, tantus. Such, or so great, or so many, that, so great in number. And last, tot, so many. These will usually be the first word of the sentence, if not always. used with an adjective or an adverb or a verb, whereas everything else can be used with an adjective or adverb. How high was it? It was of such a height or such a kind that. So much or to such an extent. He ran so much that he was tired. Now, what verb tenses do we use with these consecutive clauses in our subjunctive clause, or the resulting clause? The result clause will use the present subjunctive. If this is a habitual or recurring event, and imperfect subjunctive, if again it is recurrent or likely result. Perfect subjunctive is used. Clear that up there. Perfect subjunctive. If a single outcome is achieved. So here we have our signpost words: ad eo, ita, talis, tale, tam, tantus, tot. And the tenses for our result clause: present subjunctive, imperfect subjunctive, and perfect subjunctive with our ut. We can add one more verb tense if we have something in the future. If we want a future subjunctive, do you remember how to create that? We have a participle plus, here I'm writing a likely result. We have a participle plus sim, right? Sim, sis, sit, subjunctive of to be. So how would we use that future? Tam. And there's our indicative. Tam defesi sumus. We are so tired. Or to follow in English, so tired are we that ut. Grass, tomorrow. participle non simus, and that's our auxiliary verb, which is the subjunctive of to be, of esse, simus. So we are so tired now that tomorrow we will not work. We shall not work tomorrow. Now we have two ways of doing these result or consecutive clauses without our signpost words. One of them carries the ut, which will simply mean with the result that. So, no signpost word, ut, instead of translating to that, carries with the result that. The second way we can have no signposted word is quod plus indicative rather than subjunctive. How does that look? Magister. Quod iratus erat. A little bit extreme. Servum interfecit. So we have all indicative here and quod. The master killed the slave because he was angry. This is a straight result clause because of the quod, obviously, because, just like in English. So result clause without our signpost words tam, ita, talis. How angry was he? If we want to put magister, tam iratus magister erat, or tam magister iratus erat, and then we have to use an ut servum, and we change our interfecit to interfecit, subjunctive, or interfecerit, for pasta interfecerit. Let's do some sentences. Tam celeriter cucurerunt. Ut capere non possemus. And there's our signpost word and our ut. They ran so fast that we could not capture them. Tam ut. How do we distinguish that from a final clause? How fast did they run? There's your question. because we have this signpost word, if it was simply geleriter kukurerunt, then we would not have the ut, but we would have se caparemus. The se referring again back to them here as the object of capere. But here we have a final clause. They ran past so that we could not catch them. So remember, in our final clause, we have ne, right, with the subjunctive. But we don't have ne with a result clause. We could put ut non or ut non possemus eos capere. It was not possible for us to catch them. We could not catch them. And there's our person marker. So now that we've untangled some causal clauses, let's write some sentences. Tot orationes. I've got to get my R's consistent here. Nuper. Audi. Ut. In senatu. Hodie ad esse. Nullim. And there's our signpost word and our ut. I have heard so many tot orazione speeches lately that today I do not wish to go into the Senate or ad esse, to be there, to be present in the Senate today. Using so badly, tam male, and there's our adjective. Ut. Nemo te audire. Velit. That no one wants to listen to you or wants to hear your songs. No one wants to listen. No one wants to. Tam crudelis. Rex erat ut. Civibus iratis ab regno. expelliatur. Tam crudelis rex erat, the king was so cruel. Ut civibus iratis ab regno expelliatur, that he was driven out, expelliatur, of his kingdom by angry citizens. Tam angusta via, so narrow the road, ultra feet, so beyond, we can assume this place, the road becomes so narrow. Hank, Walim, feet, beyond this valley. There we are, we have a place now. It's ultra Hank Walim. Beyond this valley, the road becomes so narrow, and I've written feet twice. Where shall we put that? I'm going to put it at the end of our clause because that's the best place for it. And we need an ut. So narrow, how narrow was it? Ut. Let's start another line. Ulterior. Grady, an infinitive. Difficili and est. Difficile est. Bit sloppy there. But you get the meaning. Progress is difficult. Any further progress? Let's do some more. How about tam ingendum? That's a good start. Theatrum est. And I'm just thinking we should probably use our subjunctive here. Seat. So we're back at tam ingendum theatrum est. Ut. Tutai incolai, all of the inhabitants. Fabulam. Simul. Spectare possint. That all of the inhabitants can watch the performance at the same time. insidias nos. Oh, running into last line. Providemus. So completely. Ad eo, so much, so completely. Did he, the guide, the demonstrator, the person showing, deceive us that he deceived us to such an extent that non providemos, so we did not perceive the ambush or see it coming, foresee. So we were deceived by a messenger or guide. Be careful, the guide for your soldiers. Let's do some more. Let's put the adjective first. Tam lente ancilla laboravit ut eam punire. Tam lente ancilla laboravit ut eam punire debuerim. The slave girl worked so slowly that I had to punish her. Tot epistolas. Acceperam. Tot epistolas acceperam ut non possem omnibus respondere. Ad eo timebant cives. Ad eo timebant cives ut ex urbe fugerunt. The citizens were so afraid, or had so much fear, to such an extent that they fled the city, or fled from the city. So you can see how a lot of nervous energy makes my handwriting a little erratic. Could be stress, could be influences from the outside world. So what I need to do is just keep writing until all of the stress flows out of the end of the pencil. And then my mind will be quiet and focused. So let's keep going. Tantum so much wine that I cannot walk straight. Here's a good one. Senato ita loquebatur ut omnes eum semper laudarent. The senator spoke in such a way that all praised him always. So this is a habitual thing happening. Talis erat cibus. Ut nemo consumera posset. The food was of such a quality that no one could eat it. You might have noticed that I've been a bit distracted this video. I've been dealing with a power tool addict in the neighborhood, and the constant noise kind of upsets the squirrels in my head. That's why it's nice for me to do these mundane exercises with you. Listen to the sounds of the paper, the pencil, and talk about things that happened over 2,000 years ago. Alright. Tam fortiter pugnabant. They were fighting so bravely. Ut. We don't need a comma in the Latin. Vincerent. That they were winning. How about tam celeriter progressi sunt ut ad urbem ante noctem pervenerint. They advanced so quickly that they arrived or reached the city before nightfall. Shall we review some of our signpost words? Adeo, so much to such an extent that, ita in such a way that, talis tale, such or of such a kind that tam so tantus such of such a great number, so many that, and tot so many that. Tantus can also mean so great, not only in quantity but so great in size. And our result clause will always be subjunctive with present subjunctive meaning a habitual or recurring result, imperfect subjunctive a recurrent again or likely result, and a single outcome that was achieved and is finished, perfect subjunctive, and for a future likely result, the future subjunctive. And we remember we can use quod and the indicative for the simple because result clause, where we don't need one of our signpost words. So I hope this has relaxed you to some extent, just listening to my rambles and whispering and writing, the pencil on the paper, a few erasures, and I hope the power tools have not disturbed you. Thank you for spending some time with me here in the study, and for persevering in the world. Please leave a comment and let me know what things you would like to see in the study, if there's something specific, or any other suggestions. Now that you're relaxed, I wish you a very peaceful sleep, or a very serene and focused day. Be good to yourself, be kind to others and to Roman slaves, and go out there and be strong and be extraordinary.